Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Josie's Finest. Now, in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about Supa Strikas. See, in this world, there are very few things that I'm qualified to talk about. But Supa Strikas just happens to be on that list. So today, I'm going to be telling you about the 10 best episodes of Supa Strikas. Let's get into it. At number 10, we have Hot Shots. Now, this was the first time that I saw Supa Strikas on Disney XD. When I first saw this episode, it was love at first sight. It gave us that action, with the Supa Strikas becoming movie stars, and paired it up with real life action. We actually believed the Strikers were in jeopardy. And it just made for an all-round great episode to see them play against the amateurs, to show them that they really weren't ready. And also, this episode was a big flex for Coach because it showed us how much the Strikers really need to listen to their coach to be able to function properly. Number 9, how to get a header in the Super League. Now, you know this episode. This is the episode where Shakes needs to learn how to header if he wants to beat Barcelona. I don't know, man. There's something about them using the name of a real team that just got me. This is the episode where he goes to see El Ariete and get some mental training. You'd think Master Choir was the running this show. Number 8, Big Bo to Go. I mean, yes, it's an amnesia episode, and those have pretty much been done to death. But listen, the way they pulled it off, with Shakes having to go through the training, with Big Bo going to his hometown, with the constant running joke that this guy is so close to finding out who he really is, but at the last minute just doesn't quite get it. Big Bo to Go, unmatched. Number 7, Super Scar. Dude, I don't know, man. This episode was so ridiculous. It was full of so much nonsense. Like, bro, I watched this show as like a young child. I was like, man, that is so cool. And then I watch it now, and I'm like, my nigga, this is ridiculous. Like, bro, you train that much. If you train that much for 3 straight days, you're not gonna be fit to play a 90-minute game of football. You're gonna be on your couch for a week, hurting, dog. And this guy just builds up all this muscle, man. But it also showed us a different side of Scar. You understand? It's like, I mean, yeah, he's dirty, but the dude is determined. And just to see him absolutely tear apart the team, this man was playing. Like, this guy was dribbling on the moon at some points. It was just a really great episode. Number 6, Shakes on a Train. This episode focused on the knuckleball, one of the most lethal shooting techniques in football. And Supa Strikas never disappoints, man. Showing Shakes getting a special training carriage to help him perfect the knuckleball. But things weren't so breezy, because Skara and Dingon found their way onto the train, stole the cart, Skara used it for himself, and we had one of the greatest matches in Super League history, with a 6-5 scoreline that was won by Shakes with a nice little curve. Man, this episode, I don't know, man, just the way everything looked, with the volcano, it changed the way the sky was, just gave you a different type of feeling. Episode number 5, Slide of Foot. Now, this was the episode where Otto Von Drake approached Vincent Skara with the proposition to make Supa Strikas the dirtiest team and Invincible United the cleanest. I love this episode because it showed what it'd be like if the roles were reversed, which was amazing to see everyone think of Invincible United as, wow, these niggas have really got it together. And Supa Strikas is, what are you guys doing? Seeing the roles reversed was amazing for me. I really enjoyed it. And for that reason, number 5. Episode number 4, Depth Charge. Now, this is one of the newer episodes. It's not new, but it's one of the newer episodes. Basically, the plot is Supa Strikas versus Hydra. Now, anytime I say that, you immediately think North versus Liquido. Peep the name, Liquido. Liquido. Because liquid and water. Basically, this episode, these two have a rivalry, but you already know this. So basically, they had these machines for training. They were basically like underwater jet skis. So the two of them race. Liquido bumps into North. The jet ski hits the stadium, and then now there's a breach in the system. So now there's water going into the stadium, but there's no power to get the stadium back from under the water above the water. However, the scientists have been developing a way of getting power from playing football. So now what the teams have to do, they have to play a game of football, not just for points, for their lives. And I think Mac put it best when he said, either both teams win or both teams lose. Gents, let me tell you, when I heard that, oh, lads. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into our top 3, let's list some honorable mentions, such as Cool Joe loses his groove. You know the deal. Cool Joe in his record label, You Heard Nuva, a groove remover, funky is not his style. Man. No Man's Island, also known as Doomer's Return, the episode where Supa Strikas and Invincible United try to get away from the press before the season so they can do some preseason training, come into contact with each other and duke it out in an all-island battle. The Lost Star. Ah yes, the Lost Star. Supa Strikas are in Brazil. They meet former superstar Edwin, who lost it all in a penalty shootout, who then trains the team in the jungle and teaches them how to beat his former club. And our last honorable mention, Dribbler on the Roof. This was the invention of Skyball, where the Sultan's manager decided, yo, if I can't win the normal league, I'm gonna make my own league. Number 3, Dancing Rasta on Ice. See, this episode, I love this episode because it shows just how effective and key Dancing Rasta is to Supa Strikas. It showed us that his leadership is not just him on the field, it's him in your mind. Man. Number 2, Doomer's Day. Jeez, bro. Doomer's Day. Jeez, bro. This episode really showed what it meant to be a captain, you know? It also showed how much one player can really change a team. Doomer changed Invincible United's image. And really, that's sort of their biggest problem. Because a lot of the time, if someone is thought to act a certain way, they act that way. But Doomer comes in with this nice guy image, professional, and all of that. And the rest of the team follows him in that. And they don't just look better, they play better. And just to see a team climb the league the way that this Invincible United team did, they went from, what was it? They went from about 5th to 2nd in a month. That was amazing. And ladies and gentlemen, my pick for the greatest episode in Supa Strikas history, Bringing Down the House. I hope you know this episode, I really do. But if you don't, here it is. Now, this episode is my favorite because of the stakes. See, Shakes has always been a Supa Strikas boy. As a kid, he grew up playing at the community center, where he would practice his moves and hone in his craft. But then now, Invincible United have bought the community center and intend on demolishing it and building a day spa. Shakes is not too happy about this. And in a few days' time, his Supa Strikas team is about to take on an all-star team with Skara on it. So when they were both brought onto the same TV show, Shakes took this as his moment to challenge Skara in a game for the community center. So Invincible United motivated the the All-Stars by getting them fancy cars, and Supa Strikas, they knew what they were playing for. Because you see, they knew that this wasn't just a game, bro. This was a game for the future of football. Because this was a game where so many potential Super League players come through the community center. But if they lose, those players will never get a chance to shine. Man, and just the way the story flowed, the climax where Vince picked up the phone, like the hopelessness on everyone's face, the disappointment, and then they did it. Bringing down the house will forever be my favorite episode of Supa Strikas. Let us know what your favorite episodes of Supa Strikas are. Let us know if we missed anything out. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Josie's Finest. Goodbye.